It's the women in basketball talk. Let's go. Shot calling, the shots falling. My crossover leaves the ops crawling. The fans are in awe cause my handles are awesome. If you don't think I'm ballin', then hand me the ball then. Her story will make history. Watch the long shot hit the three, guaranteed victory. You might wanna stick with me, headed for the goal. If you roll, set a pick for me. It's the women in basketball talk. Tune in, all facts, no cap. We could talk about stats. It's the women in basketball talk. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, yeah.
Welcome back to a brand new episode of Let's Talk Women in Basketball podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Porty, and today we're celebrating Caitlin Clark for becoming the first WNBA player to be named Times Athlete of the Year. And later, we'll have an exclusive interview with the most fashionable courtside seat holder, Radmila Lolly. So stay tuned, you don't want to miss this moment. One of the most dominant and prolific WNBA players, Caitlin Clark has been named Times Magazine Athlete of the Year for 2024. Caitlin Clark's journey to this prestigious honor has been nothing short of extraordinary. At just 22 years old, she is the youngest person to ever receive this award, joining the ranks of legends like LeBron James, Simone Biles, and Lionel Messi. Clark's impressive resume includes setting the all-time NCAA Division I scoring record, leading the University of Iowa to back-to-back championship games, and breaking numerous WNBA records in her rookie season with the Indiana Fever. Clark has set rookie record in most three-pointers made in the season, established a new WNBA mark for assists in a single game and in season, and she led the Indiana Fevers to their first playoff appearance since 2016. However, what makes Caitlin Clark's achievement even more remarkable is her willingness to address and acknowledge the broader social context of her success. In her interview with Time Magazine, Caitlin Clark spoke candidly about the concept of white privilege and its impact on her career and the WNBA as a whole. Clark stated, "I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege. A lot of those players in the league that have been really good have been black players. This league has kind of been built on them. The more we recognize, celebrate, and discuss this while encouraging brands and companies to invest in those players who have made the league remarkable. I believe that's crucial. I must continue striving to change that. Elevating black women will create something truly beautiful." Clark's comments have sparked both praise and controversy, but her commitment to acknowledging and addressing the systematic inequalities within the sport is commendable. By recognizing the contribution of black athletes who have paved the way for her success, Clark is using her platform to advocate for greater recognition and support of these players. In a sport where black women have been instrumental in shaping its history and success, Clark's words serves as a reminder of the importance of equality. Her dedication in elevating the voices and achievements of black women in basketball is a testament of her character and leadership. So, Caitlin Clark, we like to extend our heartfelt congratulations on a well-deserved honor. Your achievements on the court are inspiring, and your courage to address these issues are truly commendable. You are more than an athlete of the year. You are a beacon of hope and change in the world of sports. In our next segment, we're chopping it up with the most fashionable courtside seat holder, Radmila Lolly. So stay tuned.
What's up? I'm Flage, and you're watching Let's Talk Women in Basketball podcast.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Women in Basketball podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Porty, and I am excited to introduce Radmila Lolly to the show. Known as the most fashionable courtside seat holder for the Miami Heat, Radmila is a talented opera singer, composer, and fashion designer. She has gained her fame for her stunning Miami Heat-themed dresses, which she designed herself, beautifully merging her love for music, fashion, and basketball. So without further ado, please welcome Radmila Lolly to Let's Talk Women in Basketball podcast. Hi, Radmila. How are you doing today?
Good. Thank you so much for having me. What a pleasure.
You're welcome. Can you share with us a memorable moment from your childhood that influenced your creativity?
I think one of my memories is going to my mom's closet and pulling some scarves out and making a gown out of them, putting tie them together and dancing in front of the mirror. And it's funny because I was not a singer and I was not a designer, but I guess from a young age, I wanted to be on stage and felt very comfortable in the gown.
Wow. Your gowns are very gorgeous. I just hope one day that you design me one.
For sure. Let me know. I'm
Yes.
here.
You moved from the US at 19. What motivated you to move and how did it shape your career path?
Well, yeah, I moved here when I was 19 to California, and it was a wonderful experience. And I lived there for a couple of years, and then I moved to New York for 12, 13 years. And I feel like I built my character in New York. In New York, everybody, one crazy New Yorker. And then moving to Miami was great experience too. Every place means a lot to me, and it was perfect for that time and for that age. I feel like US, if you put your work into, your mission, what you want to achieve, you definitely can achieve in this country.
Yes, definitely. And you have done that. You created your own albums, you design your own dresses, and you have a collaboration with the Miami Heat, which we'll talk about a little later. So you're known as the most fashionable courtside seat holder for the Miami Heat. How did your passion for basketball and fashion intersect?
Well, before moving to Miami, I was not sports fan kind of at all because my life was in a different world, more music, more classical. A lot of this events I used to attend in New York City. So when I moved to Miami, obviously Heat is such a big culture of Miami. I'm not saying Knicks is not, but it's a lot of other things going on in New York City. In Miami, it's a lot of things, but the Heat is one of the main ones.
Yeah.
And me just attending the game and falling in love with a fan's energy, that's what really that's what really made me fall in love with the actual sports. And of course, learning about the sports and being there and seeing it so up close. I mean, the reality is you like in the game, when I'm sitting there. So obviously I wanted to support my team in my own style. So when I looked at the things that was available, I didn't find anything that I liked for my personal style. So that's why I bought a bunch of jerseys and created like my own style dress.
Oh, wow. How do you choose which jerseys to put together?
It really depends because now I have so many I used pretty much all of them. I think all the colors I have so far, but now I like to combine. Also, I work with UM. I had a collection with UM. I also want to support other teams in Florida. So I have one gown with Panthers now, the Heat, with UM. So I try to support every Florida organization.
Wow. Can you walk us through the process of designing and creating your famous jersey gowns?
Yeah, so I always wanted to create a gown, but it's so I can move around in it. I mean, I know it's pretty long, but it's easily can move around. And I love the structure of a corset style. So that's why, and I did a sleeveless because it's my style. And red, my name is Radmila, but a lot of people call me Red Miller. So I love red. And so that's why I was out of red jerseys first. And, yep. And so I bought all the players' numbers and their names and combining one. So I was supporting the whole team. So I don't have my favorite.
Wow. You recently launched your collection with the Miami Heat. How did that collaboration come about? And what's your vision for the brand?
Well, first, because this is my first team, it's like my firstborn, and so that's why we talked with the Heat and decided to do the first launch. And I did the halftime show and launching my collection. It was success, and we did like a red logos and black. So because that's the color was for last year culture theme. So that's kind of how it came about. We started to see how fans will appreciate it, and they know, I'm a known fan here. So people liked it, and rest is history.
Speaking of doing the halftime show for the Miami Heat, how does the energy from a basketball crowd compares to other performances you have done?
I mean, I felt great. I mean, people were really there. And, halftime it can be tricky because people can leave, they go get snacks. But I was very happy to see it was pretty much full. So, and they were announcing during the game, the first half. So it felt good. So people stayed and the energy. And even if what is it, 18,000, 19,000 stadium, even if 12,000 stayed, it's amazing.
Yes. So I know that you write music as well, and you are an opera singer. Out of all the songs that you've written, which one is your favorite, and what makes it so special to you?
I think the most favorite one is has to be Shadows because that's the first song I ever written my own lyrics. Did not write the music, but wrote my own lyrics, and it's like finally I was coming into my own as a writer and not just telling somebody else's stories. So it felt really good. And then I would say Circle of Life. That's my other one favorite because I wrote everything, music and so composition and the lyrics. So it's really like a full circle for me. That's why I call it Circle of Life.
My favorite is Magic. I
Uh,
listened to it the other day. It was my first time listening to it, and
Thank
it was one of my favorites.
Well,
Yes,
Definitely Magic is, my baby too. I mean, I love them all.
yeah,
But I think the first moments when you start creating your own voice, not just by singing, but telling your own message, that's what kind of
yeah,
groundbreaking.
yes. And out of all the gowns you designed, which one stands out as your favorite and why?
Has to be the first one. It's always the first one
Yeah,
because that's just what's created the kind of the idea and made it attention. And then from there, I mean, like I said, of course, I enjoy today. I'm going to be making something very special. I'm going to wear it tomorrow. So, I mean, all of my pieces are definitely, I put my work into it and my time. So, but it's always the first ones. I feel like.
yes, definitely. You achieved success in multiple fields: music, fashion, and now sports fashion. How do you balance the different aspects of your career?
Well, it's all art, and I express myself through different artistic mediums. So I don't have, oh, I have to do the fashion now. I don't feel like doing it. I'd rather do music. It's all intertwined so much, and sometimes the whole day is just music, and sometimes the whole day is just fashion. But it's all the elements of my brain. So I don't have specific way to look at it. It's just art, and I express myself through it.
What advice would you give someone who's also balancing two different career fields?
I think you have to look at it as a business perspective. What makes money and what can you do to if you like one more than other, how you can transition over time into doing full time something you really love. If you love both of them, then you still have to see what makes the most at the beginning, and then as you grow, then you can start bringing, like, let's be fashion makes money more than music does make money if you put yourself in the right settings. But I don't like to give empty promises to artists out there and say, oh, just go on Spotify, you're going to be famous, or you're going to make money. It doesn't work that way. And so if you're a musician, try to think of the things that you can perform. You can get flat fees. You do like residencies. Think of that. Then if you have a 9 to 5 job, think how you can maybe do more things and you have more time to do music. So things like that. But I think you jumping into something that doesn't make any money, I mean, how are we going to pay the rent? I mean, how do you pay your bills? So I
Yeah,
think but you have to you create a plan for like a year, and you think, okay, if I'm going to spend 2 more hours a week to something I love more, how can that, where will it start bringing me revenues? And I think you have to look at it. Talents are talents and art is art, but also it's business. And I always tell a lot of people is that, they just want to create. That's wonderful, but you still have to sell. You're creating for somebody,
yes,
And if you have a lot of money, good for you. Then create. But if
yeah.
you try to transition, I think it's very important to create a plan, 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plan where you want to see yourself. Also, will help you visualize your goals, and maybe your goals not what you thought they are.
Yes, definitely. I really like that advice, especially for people that's breaking into the industry. A lot of people are like sacrificing a lot just to get to where they want to go. So to hear you say is best to figure out a 5 year plan to see where it's going to lead you, and then everything else will come together with your passion. That's a really good advice.
Of course. And, I always say, wake up every day, work towards your goals. I mean, be realistic about it. I'm not saying, you might accelerate faster on certain things, and you probably will when you do have a plan and your path does change something or evolves into something that you did not think. Like for me, I did not think I will be in the sports. Who would have 10 years ago, you would have told me, I'd be like, what? I didn't even know what Bulls were or Lakers. I mean, I'm just being honest. And so now, obviously, like life, I mean, I knew that I wanted to be in fashion. I knew that I wanted that energy of fans when I'm performing. But how do you get there? And so you have to evolve with your as you go also.
Yes, definitely. Now, you mentioned earlier that you've expanded your design to include the University of Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah.
I want to know, would you also branch out into sports outside of Florida, like different teams outside of Florida?
Yes, of course, because I want, support every fan that wants to support their team. So I want to see them, feeling good when they go into the arenas. They can be stylish, of course.
Yes, I really think the WNBA could definitely use your designs, and I look forward to collaborating with you. Especially, I have my own T-shirt line that I'm getting ready to launch.
Yeah.
It's called Just for Hoopers, and I would love to, possibly make a collaboration so that we could design like WNBA clothes for my brand, Just for Hoopers, for women's basketball players. That would
Of
be really
course.
cool.
Yeah, and I'm getting involved with also WNBA and Unrivaled. The new league is coming too.
Yes.
So excited. We're in conversations right now about music aspect and maybe fashion too. So I can't wait to see, being there at the games because I've never been to a women's basketball game.
Yes, it's really fun and great energy, great vibes, great fans. I look forward to seeing you out there because I'm going to be covering a few games as well.
Oh, perfect. You're going to be at the first one or?
Probably not the first one, probably like the third or fourth.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, but I'll be there.
Yes, definitely. So lastly, your talents is amazing, and I just want to know what other upcoming projects besides Unrivaled, because I know you just mentioned that you're going to be doing Unrivaled. So what other upcoming projects you have coming up with your music, your fashion, and basketball?
Well, for my music, I'm on the board of Florida Grand Opera, and we're doing a lot of amazing things. You should definitely let me know if you want to come to one of our shows.
Yes.
We got a really great reviews. We added a lot of hologram kind of style of lightning, so it's really nice and a little bit of fun spin to it on it. It's at the Art Center. And then I'm doing my own also project called Cars and Opera. So it's my own music. And so it's about race cars and about the story of the race car driver. So the music I just did with Steinway. So the second workshop will be next year. I'm very excited. It's going to be larger, about 500 people, and would love to have you there.
Yes.
And fashion-wise, I'm in the talks with FIU. I'm also in talks with WNBA teams and other brands. So I can't really talk the names, you know how it is. But yeah, it's a lot of new fashion will be coming in 2025 with different collaborations, different companies.
Nice. Well, thank you so much, Radmila, for joining Let's Talk Women in Basketball podcast. And I look forward to seeing more of you in the future. And I look forward to seeing you at the Unrivaled game as well.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Have a beautiful day.
You're welcome. You too. That's it for Let's Talk Women in Basketball podcast. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Let's Talk Women in Basketball podcast. Catch you next time.